let's play a little game of Would You Rather. But we're going to be focusing on the 2025 NFL Draft. So really quick, before we dive into today's show, we all know the game Would You Rather. I know you played it with your friends growing up. Really quick reminder, subscribe for live draft coverage. I'm going to be going live throughout the 2025 NFL Draft. I will also be out in Indianapolis again for the Scouting Combine. If you're a part of the show last year, you know that I was giving y'all incredible exclusive content from Indianapolis, talking to players, talking to GMs, talking to media people. I mean, I had a sit-down conversation with Jeremy Fowler, and we were talking about Michael Thomas. So that's what you guys get if you subscribe to the channel. Highly encourage you to get the best draft coverage right here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. All right, first, would you rather? Would you rather draft Ashton Jeanty in round 1 or Cam Skattebo on day 2? And just for some context here, how this video came to be, I put out on my social media accounts, I put out a poll on Twitter. Would you rather draft Ashton Jeanty or Cam Skattebo? And the numbers on that, the metrics went absolutely crazy. It was a very hot topic of discussion. So I figured I'd bring it to the YouTube streets and have a conversation there. The running back group in New Orleans, in my opinion, definitely needs a facelift. Like Jamal Williams, I don't think will be a part of this team next year. Jordan Mims, I have listed as the RB3 because he finished the year healthy. Kendre Miller did not. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he ran physically. He ran well in the limited action we saw him at the end of the season. But to be totally honest, there are way, way too many question marks in this group behind Alvin Kamara. And so I personally believe that running back is an underrated need, and it's an undervalued need that a lot of Saints fans are overlooking right now. And so let's talk about these two players, Cam Skattebo and Ashton Jeanty. I mean, stat for stat, pound for pound, these guys are freaking unbelievable. Cam Skattebo, 25 total touchdowns, one of those coming through the air when he threw a ball in the Cotton Bowl after throwing up. I mean, just gathered himself together. He came out and had to put the entire city, the entire state of Arizona, I should say, on his back. Almost took down the Texas Longhorns in dramatic fashion. Ashton Jeanty, he is the runner-up for the Heisman. There's no question about it. He is a talented running back. He is damn good. And both of them have some receiving ability, but Cam Skattebo, no question about it, he was much more utilized as a receiving back. So personally, I love both of these running backs. I mean, it sucks that they're in separate drafts because outside of Bijan Robinson, I hate the Falcons. They got that pick right. These have been my two favorite running backs I've seen in the draft process in years. I like them both, but I'm going Cam Skattebo. It has nothing to do with Ashton Jeanty as a human being. It has nothing to do with them as individuals. It has everything to do with the fact that I would rather go with a playmaker, whether it's an edge rusher or a defensive lineman, a corner, a wide receiver in round 1 at the 9th overall pick. I just think reaching for a running back at 9 is a bad idea. So that's why I like Cam Skattebo. And I also just think that Cam Skattebo could be a really, really good addition to the Saints offense. I mean, he clearly can throw the ball, not a lot, but he can clearly toss the pill a little bit. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's really physical. He's scary. He's hard to tackle. He's a stocky white boy. Remind you anybody? Might wear number 7. Might be like the best Swiss Army knife in all of sports. Not saying he's Taysom Hill, but, maybe you use him a little similarly. So draft one for me, Saints fans. Get in the comment section. Type AJ for Ashton Jeanty. Type CS for Cam Skattebo. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And we're filming this as a part of our live show. In our live poll, get this, 48 votes right now. It's split 50-50. That's pretty crazy. So get down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Clearly, this is a conversation that has a lot of discourse. Now, would you rather go offensive weapon or offensive line first? I'm not saying in the first round, but which one would you rather pick? An O-lineman or a wide receiver, running back, tight end type of player? Like for me, I personally think that the O-line deserves a little bit more credit. Like by no means were they a phenomenal unit. Absolutely not. But I think that Talese Fuaga was really good for a rookie. I think Trevor Penning was pretty solid in this in another season. And I think this year he showed a lot of growth. Where my big question marks lie are the interior. Lucas Patrick, Cesar Ruiz, Eric McCoy. I mean, McCoy, without a question, one of the best centers when he's healthy. He missed a lot of time this year. So you got to have, in my opinion, I think adding some depth at the center spot wouldn't hurt. Shane Lemieux, I think that he could return. I think he will return. He was fine in filling in. But I don't love the interior offensive line play. I'm going to be totally honest. And, I would rather go with a wide receiver or a weapon of some sort because, quite frankly, the New Orleans Saints need pass catchers. They need weapons on offense. They need talent on offense more than they need oxygen. And shout out to E.T., the hip-hop preacher, years and years ago. I stole that line from him. But, look at this wide receiver group. Of all of the guys on here, you didn't have bum memes for most of the season. You lost a lot of time with Chris Olave for most of the season. Rashid Shaheed, not here most of the season. You were stuck. Cedric Wilson in and out, or on and off being healthy. Mason Tipton, up on and off the roster. Dante Pettis, really solid as a kick returner and a punt returner. Had some good moments as a receiver, but again, he's not a high-end wide receiver. He's not a top-end talent. So for me specifically, here's a couple draft targets just to keep an eye out for. I mentioned Cam Skattebo once. I'm going to mention him again because I'm a big, big fan of that player. Tet McMillan, Luther Burden, Trey Harris. I think any of those three would be excellent selections at wide receiver. I also really like the idea of going Tyler Warren out of Penn State. He is, in my opinion, the best tight end in this draft class. And I just think that the New Orleans Saints need to improve their offensive line. Their offensive weapons. Last year, they got the offensive line in round 1 with Fuanga. This year, I would like to focus on weapons. I'm also tired of missing on draft picks. I'm tired of missing on project players that are linemen or the defensive pass rusher. Just go get a wide receiver. You have a top 10 pick. Go get a talented pass catcher. Go get a talented offensive weapon. Go get the best pass rusher. Go get the best cornerback. If you're going offense, I personally want an offensive weapon. I also want you to check out the Prize Picks app. You guys can get $50 instantly when you play $5 after downloading Prize Picks and using code CLNS. And it's playoff time, so it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best way to win cash while watching the playoffs, whether it's professional or college football. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. And reminder, use that code CLNS when you download the Prize Picks app. You'll get $50 instantly when you play $5. Now, if you need a college football lineup to roll with, here's a little inspiration. I'm going Will Howard, more passing yards. I'm going Matthew Golden, more receiving yards. And I'm going more on the receiving yards for Emeka Egbuka as well. I think that life is way, way too short to project a less. And I also think that both of these teams have a lot to prove, and these offenses might actually have a pretty big day. So if you want to fade these picks, you want to tail these picks, I don't care what you do, just do it with Prize Picks. They also now offer MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to Prize Picks. Run your game. So we just talked about offensive lineman versus pass catcher. Let's take an extra step back. Would you rather go offense or defense in round 1? This is an honest question. This is honestly a tough one to kind of give my opinion on because every day I flip-flop. Let's take a look at how the team ranked out over the course of the year. They finished the season 5-12. Offensively, extremely uninspiring. Defensively, even less, to be totally honest. In the red zone, they were actually pretty good. On third down, they weren't great, though. They started the year really effective on third down, but they did not end the year effective on third down on either side of the ball, quite frankly. And there's just way too many instances where the offense would do something good, and then the defense would shoot themselves in the foot, or vice versa. And this is a tough conversation. I think both squads need a lot more high-end talent. I think that they need starters in both sides of it. I think you need backups in both sides of it, and I think you need third stringers on both sides of it. And I think you need depth badly. We saw what happened with the team on both sides of the ball, especially the offense. We saw what happened whenever you dealt with injuries and you didn't have a lot of talent to be quality backups. You need depth badly. With the defense specifically, way too many times we saw a halfway mobile quarterback on 3rd and long go and rush and get the first down. Way too many times did the Saints give up a long run on 3rd down. Way too many times did the Saints defense give up massive explosive plays through the air. Way too many times did the Saints offense go 3 and out. Way too many times did the New Orleans Saints offense just not perform well, not execute their assignments. Like, I think that this is a really, really tough conversation for the draft. But, don't forget, you don't just have to build in the draft. I know that the New Orleans Saints, they don't have a ton of cap money, but they actually just cleared some up with Ryan Ramczyk. They now have about $50 million over the cap. They were about $66 million over the cap. So now it's, getting a little bit closer. Free agency opens up before the draft, so you can address some of these needs in free agency. You can go and get a cornerback. You can go get some offensive linemen. Maybe go sign a wide receiver. So that way you eliminate that need for the draft, especially in those high-end picks in the top 10. You have multiple picks in the top 50. You have even more in the top 100. You got to nail those picks. So for me, I think I'm going offense. Because I really want a pass catcher. But I am not closed off to this idea of going defense. Pass rusher like an Abdul Carter, yes, sign me the F up. Will Johnson at quarterback, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. I'm okay with both of those. But I'm also okay with a Tet McMillan or a Luther Burden. Excuse me. I'm okay with something like that as well. So let me know. O or D, offense or defense, which are you targeting? Now, would you rather, last one of the day, draft a quarterback or pass on a quarterback? Because the QB conversation is one that we actually have to have. And for me specifically, you guys are tuned in to hear my takes. Don't even think about it. Don't even consider a quarterback until day 3. If we get to the Saints don't have a 5th round pick. If you get to the 6th round and you have somebody available, F it. Why not? Like, sure, maybe. But I would much rather go the route of a bunch of pass catchers and defensive linemen, offensive linemen, cornerbacks, linebackers, safeties, running back, tight end. Like, I'd rather go pretty much any position over quarterback. And so I have a few day 3 draft targets. Like, if you wanted to go day 3, how about Jaxson Dart out of Ole Miss? Or Kyle McCord, Kurtis Rourke, Riley Leonard, and Will Howard. The latter of the 2 latter names, they are currently playing in the college football playoff right now. I think both of those 2 could be, at least intriguing later round picks, but I'm just not really here to mortgage my future drafting a quarterback early. Like, especially on day 1, you're not getting Shador, you're not getting Cam Ward. Don't waste a pick. Just go get a guy who's going to be effective now, like, as a pass catcher or as at any other position. Like, I'm not really interested or in the boat of drafting quarterback at all. In my personal opinion, I think it's you either go with the growing pains of Rattler and you deal with that, where he was a rookie, which, for the record, he looks like a rookie, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. Microwave society, you're allowed to have a rookie quarterback develop a little bit, God forbid. Or I'd just rather run it back with Carr. Like, totally honestly. I don't want to have a 3 quarterback group of just a bunch of young names that don't really have any talent, or not talent, but don't have really any tape. I don't really want to try mortgaging the future on another rookie quarterback this year. So I'd rather go with Spencer Rattler this upcoming season, or I'd rather just run it back with Derek Carr. Like, I just don't want to draft a quarterback. But if you did, please, for the love of God, don't wait, or just don't wait. Excuse me. Wait until day 3. Don't force the pick. Wait until day 3. You don't have a 5th round pick, so don't do it. And don't trade. Like, if you trade back, whatever. I don't care. But please, for the love of God, do not try and go and make a pick that you don't need to make. 4th round, way too early. You have a lot of positions in need that you can address some really high-end talent, and you can still get some quality players. I'm in the camp of no drafting a quarterback. I'm fully prepared to be flamed in the comment section, though. So you tell me, would you draft a quarterback this offseason? Would you draft one in the NFL draft this year? Type draft or pass down below in the comments, and let me know what you guys think. I can't wait to hear from you guys, and y'all stay golden. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. We'll see you next time.